You're tuned into the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com, and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, and Printfinity. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 66, the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I have the hard drive to prove it, and I do want that smoke. If y'all about that action, longevity.
Hello.
The maestro.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, sir? Lone.
I'm well. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing great.
Michael.
Good to see you. Caddy corner.
I don't know what just
where
happened.
you're going.
Yeah, he sound,
I know where he's
sound like
going.
my granny when he said my name like that.
Micah.
Shout out to DJ Jake Diff in the corner rocking that Pacers hoodie. I see you repping.
Indeed.
How are you, sir?
Salutations first off.
Thank you. I was waiting on that.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sipping a little drink.
Yeah. Got a little all.
Why
You know what I'm
not?
saying? Why not?
Indeed.
Yeah, why not? We see Lone with the 45 hands. We got 45 on the screen in the back.
Yeah, he's
well.
a guest,
Yeah.
and an unwanted guest.
Corniest
this
guest we've
episode.
had. Corniest cornball
Oh, he's not happy.
we've had in a while. Yeah, that guy must be mad.
No, that's actually, isn't that Neil Gorsuch? That's the Supreme Court justice that he stole
Look at all these people fake standing up.
from
They all fake
President
standing
Obama.
up.
Yeah,
That must be the conservative side
Yeah,
over there,
they
right?
fake standing up. He
Yeah.
like he talking about real estate, cornball. To my immediate left, the golden voice of Indianapolis, Mr. Wavy Light Skinned Girls, be loving me now.
All right, I get
Himself.
You know what? It's all good.
Yeah, at this point he's come on home and he understands where he is as a man.
Got his neck.
He's happy about that. Jay Moore is in the building. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Good to
Wait,
have
wait
you.
a minute. You got to remember this.
Yes, sir.
Superman does good. You do well.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just come up with that off the top, man, or is that borrowed? Or
I may have picked it up, but it is something that applies to the current situation. So
okay,
I just had to go ahead and bring that out.
okay.
Shouts to Grammar.
We see you. All right.
Shouts
So,
to DJ Spoolz, too.
DJ Spoolz, we miss you, man.
Hey,
And Philly.
Get back. Be safe.
He's
bringing some steaks back.
he's
man.
out there at a rally for Meek Mill.
Hey, free meat, man.
Yeah, free Meek, man. Meek, from what I'm hearing, Meek, as more stuff reveals itself, he got a bad rap from what I'm seeing. So it's gonna be hard to do this episode.
It's
with the
really hard,
cornball, man.
Yeah.
It's really hard with him.
We're gonna try to make
We
it.
make a
though.
comment,
Yeah.
then I look back at him, and he's making this face. Like,
Yeah.
And I see all these people standing up lying like, good job, yeah.
Look at his neck.
Yeah, trash. All right.
Neck
So,
game
your neck game is
B.
trash, B. Your neck game is trash. Done. Yeah.
We haven't used those in a while.
He's a
Yeah.
cornball. All right. So speaking of this cornball episode, can we gonna call it Route 66?
Why would we do that?
Why not? Perhaps you have a better suggestion. I didn't think so. Do you have one?
Episode number 66.
I didn't even look. I didn't think
me
about
neither.
it.
All right then.
He just kind of sprung it up
All
on
right
us
then.
right now. So
Do we have an offensive lineman?
That's
With
bad
number
show
66?
prep on
yeah,
on our end.
Just saying, man.
usually Spoolz handles that.
Yeah, that's the
Spoolz,
thing.
man. We owe you one.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Nitschke.
Mitski?
Ray Nitschke.
Ray Nitschke.
Or Lemieux.
Oh, Mario Lemieux.
Sorry, we got to go Mario
I
Lemieux.
stand corrected.
Mario Lemieux. This
Mario
is
Lemieux episode.
Lemieux episode.
Yeah, I ain't even like hockey like that, but he was a beast.
Yeah, I got to.
Shout out to Jaromir Jagr as well. He's a
Yeah, he
beast.
just got put on waivers.
Sidney Crosby's a beast too.
Diager?
Yeah, man.
He's still playing?
He's like
Yes.
40, right?
Oh, he's older than that.
He's
gotta
gotta be like 48.
older than that.
Remember, he was on
Said he's
NHL.
like
He was
40.
on an NHL '94 on the Genesis, and he
Damn.
just now got put on
He's a
waivers.
goalie,
He's still
right?
playing?
No, he's not even a goalie. I think he's I can't remember.
Defenseman or something
I
like
can't remember what
Isn't that,
what
isn't
position
that
he
a
played.
position?
But yeah, remember he
Defenseman?
played with Lemieux when they won those Stanley Cups in the '90s.
Well, shoot.
Yeah.
He got to
Yeah.
be what? Like you said,
Well,
I
so
said
I
40.
think the only person he's behind is Gordie Howe as far as games played. So
that's
yeah, pretty incredible.
You remember the old NES hockey game?
Blaze of
where-
Steel?
No.
No, it was
that's
just
too far back.
It's
No,
like
it
the
was-
skinny, medium, and fat
It was
dudes?
just called.
Oh.
Thing is, it was real generic. It was just called ice hockey.
Ice
but yeah,
hockey.
you could pick.
Yeah.
It was a dope game, though.
You could pick little
Yeah.
skinny guys.
And the big dudes would, like, knock over the skinny guys.
Yeah.
But the
I
skinny
played
guys
it,
were
but I was
fast.
asleep. I didn't realize it was dope till later. but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
we
was
talked
the
about this
Everglades.
at your house.
Yeah.
That is some great footage that never saw the light. We're going to have to redo that.
Yeah,
'cause
we're going to have to redo that.
that was
one of
very,
these days.
very funny. We went through a lot of NES games. Yeah. But speaking of the screen and the cornball, so Hove had a very interesting interview on CNN, and I thought this was dope. I actually thought it was just amazing how his wordplay. You know what I'm saying, when he was referring to 45. So here's how he played it in terms of, I guess the scene was set where he's talking about just the overall concept of like race relations in America and how, you know, black people are treated in the workforce and things of that nature. So they got to talking about Trump, obviously, and Hove says, you don't take the trash out. You keep spraying whatever over it to make it acceptable. And then you know, as those things grow, then you create a superbug. And then and then he says, and then now we have Donald Trump, the superbug. And then there's a superbug. And he says Donald Trump is a human being, you know, to try to basically say, hey, I got a personality, I'm just clowning. But he said somewhere along his lineage, something happened to him and he's in pain and he's expressing it in this sort of way. And I thought that was very, very interesting because if you think about it, the way this guy is now in his he's in his 70s, right? Or am I tripping?
He's in the 70s.
70s. So something had to happen, you know what I'm saying, for him to, like, he is who he is at this point. I always say the older people get, the more they get stuck in their ways. So he's not changing. This is who he is.
Right.
But to bring it back to the actual interview, I just thought Hove did a hell of a job. One, speaking on the current state of America. Two, standing up for not only just black people, but brown, you know, minorities in general, and how things are. It's not okay just to pay people and treat them a certain way. Like he kept saying that it's not about money; it's about being fair to people. I'm not sure if all of you guys saw it. I thought it was dope. I thought it was really dope.
Shout out to Van Jones for
Van Jones,
a really
yes.
a nice course correction for him, because if you remember during the last,
Did he? Is that who did the interview?
yes,
Yeah, it was
because he has a
dope.
new show on CNN, and for a while I was worried about Van being in the sunken place because I just remember during the last State of the Union, and you know, Donald Trump just didn't trip over his feet,
Right.
or he, you know, didn't accidentally cuss while he was addressing
Right.
you know. So he said now he's become presidential, and it was just
Yeah.
like, Van, what are you talking about, man? Just because he showed a level of competency in this one moment, now he's presidential.
Yes.
So I like the fact that Van Jones has made a series of nice course corrections since then. So I am excited that he has this new show, and it's a nice platform. The thing I will say about someone not being who they are and not changing, you got to remember, Donald Trump was a New York Democrat until we had a black president.
Facts.
Yep.
So he can make any change that he sees fit whenever he wants to. That's
fair.
part of the flexibility of being a very rich person in America.
That's fair.
So at this point, he's just dug his heels into a place where we've never really seen it. And like, I do think it was, I mean, even though Donald Trump went on Twitter the next day and decided he was going to pick a fight with Jay-Z.
Talking about black unemployment rates.
Yeah, which had been cut in half under President Obama. But of course, all the numbers that happened during those 8 years, he discounted and said were fake news.
Yes.
You know, so now when he's inherited a strong stock market, a strong
Shout out to the right
rate.
side. Shout out to the right side.
Yeah. So so it's a thing to where you know, before he was president, these numbers didn't mean anything. Now that he's inherited you know, an economy that was healthy, now he's done all of these things. He's not seeing that these were trends that were started before he was the president. And I want everyone to understand that. I mean, because you're saying, oh well, you know, look at the Dow Jones and all that. These things were happening. This isn't even anything he can take credit for, because remember, he just signed that tax cut. What is that? Less than a couple of months ago. And if anything, the only thing I've seen from that tax cut is massive layoffs at both AT&T and Walmart, because you know all the Sam's Clubs here in the city of Indianapolis basically have been shut down. Yeah. So you know, I'll give him credit for that. But the other things he's talking about, I can't give him credit for those things. But I just think when you, I think this is something that was actually pretty, incredible, because even though Jay-Z, the superbug is what everybody focused on. He said about this man in a certain level of pain. Jay-Z actually showed a level of empathy for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That, that didn't come off as him. I didn't think he said it and he's being a sucker when he said it. But at the same time, I do think it is a genuine, because at the same time, as much as we call him out, he's still a human being and somebody who has thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
You know what's crazy? Nobody pointed out that. Like,
Of course not.
I didn't see that.
Of course not.
You know what I mean?
And so as soon as stuff like this happens, everybody on Fox News is like, former crack dealer Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Like he hasn't, like he hasn't accomplished anything else in his life other than he's a former crack dealer. That's, and we could go that.
But the president was a slumlord.
Yeah, well, and he also pays off porno actresses that he's sleeping
Through
with.
LLCs.
But we don't. Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Right.
His leadership is what matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be that double standard, but that's neither here nor there.
It's deeply ingrained
Yes,
into our society.
certainly.
We can continue on this conversation, but this is actually kind of relative to Erykah Badu's comments a little bit.
Oh, the Hitler comments.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pull up the actual quote. She backed.
Unless we want to continue to talk about the bug.
Well,
Go ahead,
speaking
Terry,
on the
jump in.
Jay-Z thing real quick before we move on to the Erykah Badu, it's interesting to see Jay, how he's evolved, from the hustler to the grown man that's making albums about how he messed up with his wife, and he even spoke about that during the interview as well.
We're old enough to have seen all of that too.
Right, right. And like you said, to your point, when he came at Trump, he actually came from a genuine place. He wasn't even trying to sun him like that.
No,
Right.
he wasn't.
It was just like, this is who this guy is, and this is who we have representing us out here. And it's just cool to see Jay transition like that, and have those type of thoughts on the forefront. If you had told me that Jay-Z was going to be somebody that we would be watching on CNN, like sitting down with somebody back in like the late 90s, I would have never thought this.
No, not not Big Pimpin'.
Nah.
Do It Again. Hey Poppy Jay, certainly not Hey Poppy Jay-Z.
Nah.
But that speaks. I've seen this quote. Because like how people like to get fake deep on the internet, but sometimes they do have good points to make. Where someone will say, well, you've changed, and it's like, I haven't worked this hard to stay the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope that who I am as a 40-year-old man is somebody that's a little bit different than was when I was 25.
You would think.
Definitely.
You would think,
Yeah.
and that the thoughts, the feelings, the way I'm able to process things should be on another level. Because if I'm the same person I was at 25, then I've wasted 15 years.
Exactly.
So that's just.
I think that gets lost a lot of times in the current culture that we're in of America. And we like to criticize and demoralize people for individual acts that they do.
Fox News.
And a lot of time, on both sides, really. And there has to be. I like when I see the sharing of empathy of sorts. So, if somebody does something wrong, who's to say that they can't learn from that and get better at it? It's the other side of the let's destroy somebody's career for some stupid shit that they did.
Right.
Who's to say that they're not going to learn from that experience and do better?
Well, I think when Jay-Z
That's
has
just
that
one.
piece
That's just
about
one tangent.
has that piece when he talks about his marriage, like he said, like okay, I didn't, being honest, where he's like, I didn't have the tools to love, and like, am I going to throw this away, because I wasn't properly equipped to come into this marriage in the right frame of mind, or am I going to fight for my family?
Right.
Maybe if he was 10 years younger, he wouldn't have even had the tools to understand that this is something worth fighting for. And like you said about, are we just going to? Because I think we are at this point in society where an allegation is enough for us to feel like we should burn people at the stake.
Yeah.
You know, you guys talked about it a couple weeks ago with Aziz Ansari, where
Bernie's not impressed.
no, he's not.
Shout out to Burn, man. Shout out to Burn.
So
Like Bernie, man.
So it gets to a point where, okay, are we just trying to destroy people's careers? And now, if it's something where where it's just flat out criminal behavior, and that person is trying to apologize, get help, and their actual, even if they're trying to get, you know, they have to have their feet held to the fire for that. But you know, when you talk about somebody, even like a Louis C.K., okay, weirdo stuff, but am I willing to say, okay, and he admitted, he's like, I did these things wrong. Are we just going to ostracize him forever? He's just his talent is just null and void because he jerked off while he was talking to somebody on the phone. Like, is that enough for us to say, okay, we never want to hear from this guy again? He's just always going to be bad.
It's the same thing with Cosby.
And I think that's a little bit more extreme.
It's a little bit different.
It's more extreme, but the concept still
Well, the difference
applies.
is that Louis acknowledged it.
And so
Good
did
point.
Jay-Z.
That's fair.
See,
You know,
that's the thing.
and that's
with
the difference
Donald
with-
Trump, he doesn't ever acknowledge anything. He's you know what? He's consistent on. He never apologizes.
Yeah, it's always somebody else's fault.
And that's with the Cosby. He never apologized. Aziz came out and said, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I was doing
That
those
I was
things.
doing these things
Apparently,
wrong.
I was.
You know.
Okay,
That's a good point. Yeah, I stand corrected on that. 'Cause
and those
Bill,
are the subtle differences in those. You know,
that's a good point because Bill didn't technically come out and was like, you know what, I was out there bad. You know, so
plus his was like over an entire career. You
Yeah.
know, like it
Facts.
wasn't like it happened one or two
it wasn't
Yeah,
an
he's been
isolated incident.
Apparently
I feel
been
you. I
wilding
feel
since
you.
the late 1960s. So it's a
And
different
it's
when you talk about
different
patterns
when
of
you're
behavior.
And you said criminal. You know,
Yeah.
it's different when you're drugging somebody.
Facts. I agree.
know.
I agree.
Like what Louis
I
did,
stand
I'm just
corrected.
like, he's just a weirdo. Dave Chappelle has a great skit about. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody who's not watched the Dave Chappelle Netflix specials. You are missing
I
out.
have watched to them. They are
And
great.
he talks about it, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. But you know, like I said, I think there is something that when people acknowledge wrongdoing and look to actually make a change and take responsibility, as opposed to people who are it's always somebody else's fault. It's your fault. You even brought it up.
This is
Right.
what
And
I
that's how
found
Donald Trump
interesting.
is. It's our
Yeah.
fault for bringing it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I found interesting after the Jay-Z interview. So a correspondent and Trump both said that Trump has done more for the black community than Jay-Z did. Jay-Z
I had
did
that
not
note
speak
down.
on anything about the community. He spoke on the president and his position and the type of person he is. It had nothing to do with the community. But for them to think and even fix their mouth to say that he's done more for the black community in the year that he's been the president is absurd. Like,
it's delusion. Somebody's delusional if they say say something
well,
like
That
that.
and especially if you don't know Jay and B, you know, because quietly, and this wasn't even really supposed to get out. You know, all these protests, you know, against police brutality. Quietly, Jay-Z and Beyonce were getting those people out of jail and paying for their lawyers.
and more importantly, how do you justify such a broad,
Exactly.
bold statement like that?
You
How do we
can't.
justify
It's just
that?
easy for him to say that because he
It
looks
just
at
sounds dope.
some numbers and
Exactly.
somebody
It
handed
doesn't
him.
You can't even
sound dope.
I'm
though.
talking about to them. They think it just sounds dope to say it like it's just some shit to say, but you can't justify a statement that broad.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same statement as when people will say that racism wasn't a thing until Barack Obama became in
That is
office.
the wackest shit I've ever heard. in my
Because,
life.
but it goes to the now we're speaking on it.
Yep.
I wonder
Right.
what
It
he's
was
saying
fine.
right here. He has a black family. It looks like standing up and people are clapping. I wonder if they're his friends or something.
Somebody probably.
They're probably plants. I don't want to say. You know what? Let me not be that cynical.
Hold on. What we got?
Just everything we talk about, everything that's going on is probably
Yeah,
some fuck shit.
exactly. I mean, because no.
Oh, I ain't like. See, this was fuck.
This has nothing to do with anybody in the room. This has to be what we're seeing. Like,
I gotta ring it.
This is-
I gotta
yeah.
ring it on this. That's some fuck shit. I don't even know what it's about.
Well, I mean, just the fact that that's
he feels the need to
That-
do
that
to
that.
do
had to
that
happen.
at the State of the Union. Trump feels like he needs to do this to, just to show that he's
Exactly. It's
you know,
corny, man.
Because I've done so much for the black
And
community.
look,
plotted.
and like I'm like, wait a minute, why are we seeing this one family? So, like I said, I'm the conspiracy dude. When I see stuff like that, trust me, I feel like something's gonna come out in the next 48 hours.
Hey, man.
That's gonna really.
I got to put a note.
It is what it is.
I got to do a mental note to remember to go to this to see what the hell they were crying and standing up and giving him a pound for, because I'm very curious to see what that's about. I don't know about that one. So
the Trump hands.
Lone is a genius at that.
He really does have tiny hands.
As compared to the size of his head, yeah.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's like, but no, the Erykah Badu stuff. I guess it's kind of related, and she was in the news recently for her interview with. Does anybody know?
I can't remember the name
Was
of
it
the person.
Vox? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was over in the UK though.
I got the comments.
And Erykah's hilarious.
Yeah, like she,
she's.
I don't know. Like she's just. You never know. Like she's
she
unpredictable.
She went on the entire rant on the over underrated series where she talked about Fred Flintstone. And,
Oh yeah, that was funny.
I mean,
she was dope on the old Everyday Struggle before they
Where she
kicked
looked
Joe
at
out.
academics for a whole
Yeah,
hour.
you remind me of somebody.
They called him Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, she was pretty
Y'all
much
dinging the
sunning
hell
down.
out this table.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that was Terry.
I said y'all though. Notice.
Yeah,
The deflection king. Full
but
effect.
she basically said, "I see good in everybody. I saw something good in Hitler.
Right.
Hitler was a wonderful painter." And
Is that verbatim?
verbatim.
That's verbatim. Like,
That's
there's a lot
verbatim.
surrounding that, but like she did say that.
That's what jumped off the page when everybody saw it. It was like,
I see.
And
I
the
saw-
interviewer tried to give her like, say that one more time.
Yeah,
he tried to
threw
like
a bone, like
for her to get out of it.
who was that?
Who do you think it was, Michael?
You got to be the
Go-
only one with that
Yeah.
tone set.
Kevin Love out 6 to 8 weeks.
That's that deferment king that Terry just said.
Yeah.
Because
When?
Mike knew it was him.
Who
Looked
was
at the
that?
phone and then looked around.
6
and
to
said,
8 weeks, Kevin Love. Damn it. Sorry about that.
Nah, so Erykah's thing, I think it's related. The empathy angle of, now granted, Hitler is not necessarily,
The most empathetic individual. No.
At all.
but I'm sure that most people that are in those positions do have some sort of issues with themselves or something. Same thing Jay was talking about Trump. Whether he's a psychotic, whether he's has some sort of mental illness or whatnot.
Perhaps.
Maybe Hitler wasn't necessarily the perfect
Yeah.
Terrible example.
example.
Look,
but
I'll just say for anyone who's ever, that's always the worst example. Just like when someone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Donald Trump is just like Hitler." No, he's not. No, he's not. Not you always heard people say
That's
that
an
about
extreme
President
shit,
Obama.
man.
He's like Hitler. I was like, first of all, that's really off.
That's an awful comparison.
Hitler would be like, "Hey, don't compare me to that guy."
Yeah.
But the point she was trying, I think the point she was trying to make was that people are people in general.
Basically, just
Despite
saying
their
that she can
flaws,
see,
no
Despite
matter how
their
she
nasty-
flaws.
sees
Yes.
good in everybody. Is pretty much what she was saying. But she just picked a
The
terrible
wrong-
example
yeah.
to use.
Yeah.
And then when she brought up the whole art thing, and
I like
the,
this guy right here. He ain't
Interviewer was
going.
like, his art wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So what are we really saying?
like, yeah, it was just a.
Sounds like
she
a
picked a
reach.
really bad beat in what's overall a pretty decent article. And that's what happens to people. And the thing is, in this era of clickbait,
Yeah.
you have to remember, and especially if the interviewer gives you a chance to back out of it,
Yeah.
because you got to understand it doesn't matter what was in the rest of that article.
Yeah.
Hitler, that's all
Yeah.
people hear.
Yeah, that's all
And
it
in
is.
the interviewer, I actually highlighted it. The interviewer says, "Come again."
Yeah.
And it's like, "You sure? Do we really want to do this?" And she doubles back with, "He's a great painter." So
I think there's a deeper conversation there. But she backtracked anyways, right?
way back. Yeah.
What'd she say?
She cleared it up. And I wouldn't have that highlighted. But she did backtrack.
Well,
Bad.
Yeah, long story short, she backtracked.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like,
On
yeah.
some apology after the fact type shit.
She was feeling good at the time.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But yeah, that everybody got a hold of that one ASAP. So this guy ain't going. No, he probably is. I think he's another one of the guys he's using loan for a close up.
Yeah.
I see tears.
Notice there's been
I just-
only been minorities so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I just don't like when anybody exploits the human condition,
I see
no
what
matter
you
who
did
it is.
there, man.
yeah.
You gotta stay woke, Terrence, over there in
Hey.
that corner. I see you.
He's like, thanks. Stop looking at me.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's zoom in on another minority.
Yeah.
That'll offset this superbug stuff.
Probably not, but
probably not. All right, man. Let's jump into shout out to South Memphis. Let's jump into a little music. The Grammys.
yes.
mixed reviews in terms of some people were happy, some people were like, "Yo, Hov didn't win." The new artist of the year was a
Alicia
controversial topic. I thought it should have been SZA. Bruno and K-Dot pretty much cleaned up, as I think we all pretty much anticipated.
To a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Record of the year, 24 Karat Magic by
Knew
Bruno.
that was gonna happen.
I saw that one coming. Song of the year. Rap album was Damn. I think we all predict that? I did.
I saw that coming.
This is like I seen it coming. I have a certain.
Let me go through a couple
that.
more on the
Go
list,
ahead.
and I'm coming back to you. Rap/sung performance is Loyalty with K-Dot and Rihanna. Rap song Humble. I know you ready on that one. R&B album was 24 Karat Magic. R&B song was That's What I Like. You're starting to see the theme here. Childish Gambino won for traditional R&B performance, I think, for Redbone.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know he won.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't see.
He was a winner. Yeah, he was a winner. So shout out to him. That's good to change the pace. R&B performance, right back, Bruno. That's what I like. So, Terry, you were going to jump in on Damn for album of the year.
Well, there's
Rap
a
album.
few things I want to touch on in this Grammy conversation.
Okay.
But I will start with that one.
Yeah.
As far as Damn being the best album of the year, hip hop wise. Oh shit. We don't got to do all that.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Nah,
You don't want
it's
me to
okay.
ring it?
It's okay. Go ahead.
All right.
Do your thing.
I mean, if we gonna ring it, we could ring multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could.
Mike he's just ring happy
I only
whenever
ring it
somebody
once.
does.
It's not really fuck shit. That's just like oops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's oops. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know?
Moving on.
Unless you knock the table over
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Or spill your drink.
But that's off air.
On
Yeah.
my socks.
I saw
Anyway.
the side eye. Go ahead, man.
Anyway. So I understand why Damn won
Okay.
the Grammy. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about Jay-Z as far as growth. The reason why I kind of wish it was different and wish that Jay won the award is because what Jay is doing right now is showing the evolution of hip-hop and how hip-hop can continue to go and you can continue to be looked at as one of the best out.
I would agree.
Jay is almost 50 years old, right?
Right.
He's still putting out good material.
High quality material.
High quality. I don't know, it was a really good album. The Damn concept is crazy. His tour, speaking of Kung Fu Kenny, Kendrick Lamar, crazy. You know, Jay's numbers were down in this tour. You know, I think a lot of that stuff factors in on Grammys too. And then too, the Grammy Awards, like you were talking about,
Rhapsody.
no, not Rhapsody. I'm not even in the rap category, but as far as new artists,
Yes.
those rules are really weird because like, so the young lady that won,
Alicia Cara.
okay, she's been out for a few years.
She put out her first project at the end of 2015.
Okay, SZA at her first project on TDE came out in 2012.
But was that her first major release?
I mean, it was on TDE. It was in stores. What would you consider a major release?
I don't think. I
Are they
think
talking
that's.
about your first full length? See, I don't know. The rules are very weird.
Or was it 2014? I don't know. It was a few years ago.
I think it's. I think it's Section 80 versus Good Kid. Like I think it's like that. Like I don't.
Well, Section 80 was a mixtape.
But
SZA's
some people-
album was an album.
But
Quote unquote.
quote unquote
You
though,
know.
because I remember people treating Section 80 like it was an album.
It
like
was-
you could go find Section 80.
It was that
is what I'm
good,
saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it was that good. Yeah, no doubt about it.
It wasn't like Culture 2.
No, it
Continued.
wasn't. Yeah. I see you. I see you, Long.
Let's continue.
But yeah, the Grammys, the way they do that
Yeah.
is different. It's mainly when the masses catch on to things.
Okay.
Is when it's going to be accepted into
So
the
it's
Grammy fold.
subjective, really.
Exactly.
Very.
Like Bruno cleaned up, which he should have, and we talked about Bruno's album when it first came out. I mean, it had a certain feeling to it. It's almost if you didn't know that album was gonna win stuff, then you must not pay attention
Yeah,
to
we
music.
knew
and
he was going
trends
to
and-
win everything a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
It was that. Yeah, it was that good.
He was in a mix of artists who had very good albums as well, but those albums aren't touching as many people as that Bruno Mars album did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, a lot of times people, you know, because the Grammys is supposed to be about artistry, not supposed to be about numbers. And every once in a while, it does hit on that. Like, remember a few years ago when like Beck won? I didn't even know Beck had an album.
Oh
out.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it really does come down to being a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And as I remember, I tweeted, I said before the show started, I said Jay-Z is going home empty-handed tonight. All 8 awards. He didn't win one thing because he was in there. He was up against Bruno, and he was up against Kung Fu Kenny. So you know, I mean,
That's a tough spot even for Hov at this stage.
And the thing is, there's a certain level of, okay, let's make this up for where we really screwed up a few years ago.
Yep.
And there's still, I'm not saying that Kendrick didn't deserve all the awards that he got, but I do feel like they're still in a position where the voters they're trying to course correct for when they gave Kendrick's Grammy to Macklemore.
Who acknowledged that he,
you know,
shouldn't have won the album.
And when you talk about the only thing that bothers, because I feel like I feel it's great that what's his name? Gosh, why did I just forget his name? Dancing Kid.
Bruno.
Dancing Kid.
I don't know. I couldn't think of his name, but I don't have a problem with Bruno winning. But my thing is, he's very honest about who he was influenced by. Jimmy Jam and Terry.
I'm glad you hit on this.
He was very influenced by Teddy Riley,
Yes.
by the New Editions, the Bobby, and
Yes.
all these. But the thing is, okay, and I don't want to call his music a knockoff. I've heard people say that, and I don't think that's fair because I think it's influenced
too good to be a knockoff.
and it's in honor of that music. But the thing is, okay, you're going to give him all the Grammys, but you know, you didn't honor this music from the originators. You didn't honor Bell Biv DeVoe.
Right.
You didn't honor Guy. You didn't honor New Edition when you had a chance. You know. I found out that I saw an interview with Jimmy Jam, and you know, someone was talking about, oh man, you know, I know he's got rooms full of Grammys. He's like, hey, I got 5. Don't get me wrong. How is it that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis only have 5 Grammys?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I bet you they were all with what, Janet?
Probably all with Janet, you know, because they didn't win any with New Edition.
Which is amazing to me.
You know,
that they didn't win any with New Edition.
Because I'll never forget. That's when I kind of got hip to the Grammys because I remember watching the show where Heartbreak was supposed to win R&B Album of the Year, and they lost to Gladys Knights. I'll never forget this. The Love.
I don't even remember that.
You don't even want to. It doesn't matter.
I don't
does it?
even remember
they
that.
lost
That's
to
crazy.
The
It doesn't matter.
The album with Love Overboard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
That's
damn.
foolishness.
Yeah, and so I'm like, based on impact, based on record sales,
That's
like,
crazy.
there's no way anybody should have been able to beat New Edition Heartbreak
that
year. So I mean,
and probably 3, 4, 5 years after it.
yeah. So there's just this whole thing where I'm glad Bruno won. It's cool to see somebody up there really do his thing, because like sometimes people win. I'm like, really? This is who the industry's gonna honor. But my whole thing is, okay, honor Bruno, but at the same time, you got to understand if this is where his influences are, there has to be some sort of course correction to where you honor. I don't think I've ever seen Teddy Riley at the Grammys,
which is a shame.
You know, I don't think.
What do you see as an appropriate course correction? Because at the same time, we don't want another Kendrick Kendrick sweeping up because of that situation.
I don't think so. But at the same time, you know, it's just going to be a situation where I'm like, you know, how do you not honor these people who've done so much for the culture, but you honor the person that is honoring them through his actual art?
Yeah.
You know,
well, I mean,
but at the same time, that's why I say
I don't think you.
I don't think you can.
That's a fine line, man.
But at the same time, this is why I say you can only put so much into the Grammys, because you know who has no Grammys? Nas.
I don't either.
Yeah, you know who has no Grammys? Snoop Dogg.
Sir.
You know who has no Grammys? The Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
Gangstar.
Yeah.
Tupac. These people don't have it. New Edition.
Does Tribe
Guy,
have one?
Jodeci.
No.
A Tribe Called Quest.
And they were left out of the.
They didn't even. Their album should have been nominated this year, if you ask me.
But you know what? I understand that argument, but I think when I look at the list, I'm like, well, who do you take off?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so
there's only 5 spots.
Rhapsody's album was cold.
It was
name the albums. It was
Rhapsody,
it was
Jay-Z,
Kendrick.
That's
3.
Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, Flower Boy.
I I can't remember what the
What's the
fifth
last one? Because
But I looked at it. I was like, I mean, as much as I love Tribe, I'm like, who do we take off of here to put you on?
Maybe Tyler's or maybe Rhapsody's are the only two options, probably.
Yeah.
that's a big maybe though. Because
I mean, but if we're talking,
I feel
you know,
yeah, I follow
you
you.
got Jay, you got Kendrick. Who was the other one?
But
I gotta look
that
this
just goes
up.
back to my thing about, you know,
I got it right
we
here.
put so much into these awards sometimes. Well, it's award season, but really, when you think about an impact on culture, these awards don't mean anything.
Nah, they're irrelevant.
Like, you know, I'm not trying to be funny, but you know,
Migos.
there are plenty of people who've won multiple Grammys. They're not going to have a.
There we go.
Tribe is better. Tribe's album
Okay.
is better than Migos.
But when you talk about
Yeah, impact, though,
and
yeah.
where people are right now, how do you not nominate
that
the
kind
Migos?
of that kind
I
of goes
agree.
back to the conversation we
I
had
agree.
last week about Monique wanting to be relevant, and she's not. I mean,
Yeah, I mean-
Tribe is more relevant than a Monique, of course, in the
But
hip hop game.
But in today's
the
climate,
Migos,
yeah, Migos
culture
yeah.
was
huge record.
yeah.
I mean,
I'll give them
people
that.
people waited up at midnight for culture too. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's great the Rhapsody's album is on there.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But if we're following how the Grammys are seemingly put together,
Protocol for the Grammys.
you would probably cut Rhapsodies and put Tribes on there.
Okay.
Or would you cut out Tyler and put Tribe on?
I
there?
I think Tyler has more of a cultural
impact than Rhapsody
or
does?
a cult fan base
Yeah.
Okay.
than what a Rhapsody does.
Okay.
And I love
in that
Rhapsody.
aspect.
Yeah.
Um,
I would agree with that.
but you know, I think Rhapsody belongs on there. I think there's probably 3 other albums that I would put on there above the ones that are on there as well.
To Terry's
You know,
point,
If we're talking just quality, but you know,
and see I think that's where
that's where it gets wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And then to your point, you know, it's just an award show.
Yeah,
you know,
what
don't
I
put
mean,
too much-
because let's just you know, it's whoever
Stock.
New Edition lost to and all these do any of those people have did they get a 3-night TV movie? No. I mean, because your impact on the culture wasn't that.
to his point about quality, I think that is a part where we all have to kind of either remove ourselves or at least be cognizant of what's going on because we are quality people. We like quality music.
Mm-hmm.
To your point about Bruno, the flip side of him, he pays homage. I get that. And I feel bad for the people that didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
But the opposite of that, in my opinion, is it's dope to have somebody that actually fucking cares.
Yeah,
that puts
for sure.
time and effort into their
Yeah.
music that we can push to the forefront that's actually dope.
I mean, we could have
You know
the
what I- you
same
know what I-
conversation about Parliament and Childish Gambino.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, certainly.
know,
Exactly.
Yeah. Did
Exactly.
they ever honor George Clinton? Probably not.
Exactly. 'Cause
Not the,
Redbone-
not the way they should
Because
have.
Redbone is definitely,
Yeah. So
I hear a lot of Boosie on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
like Bruno
Boosie
actually
Collins,
had,
not Lil Boosie.
Oh, sorry. Shout out to Bupac, though.
Hey,
Best interview in hip hop by far.
I think Bruno might have had 9 songs on his
9
album.
records, yeah.
Just like Thriller.
On some
5 or 6 of them charted as singles.
he's got videos for at least half the album.
Yeah.
Look, every song right now, like, and I tell people one of the reasons I really appreciate Bruno Mars is because it brings a level of happiness and upbeat energy to when I'm in the close, because pretty much all music now, especially trap music, everything is on a kind of a downbeat and kind of depressing, honestly,
Yeah.
because it's so slow and it's the same thing over and over. At least with Bruno, I'm like, okay, now let's get the party started a little
It sounds
bit.
like a Bobby Brown record.
And what's really great is, you know,
he's
it's
multiple. He's crossover on so many different levels.
Yeah.
Facts.
because
You know?
especially with that Finesse record, okay, now we play this Finesse record. Let's get into some 90s R&B and hip hop and have people actually dance instead of standing around looking at each other weird.
Straight up.
So I appreciate
or me mugging in front of the
I don't
DJ.
know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
when
I appreciate Bruno Mars on so many levels.
When I go out to the club, I like to just stand in front of the DJ table
That is something.
Is that
to
what
do.
you do?
and hug all the gentlemen around me.
Word.
Do you swag surf in front of the DJ table?
No, I don't. But
Okay.
shouts to Jay Moore and the Casbah though. You know?
Yeah, we see.
Holler
you
at
there.
not near one of them females out
Oh
there.
yeah.
Not there.
Look, I
Not
see.
near
Like I
one
said,
of
I
them.
see
Jokes.
dudes push girls out of the way so they can get closer to the DJ booth.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, though, it's you feel like that person feels like they're a part of the show and the experience. I'm up here at the DJ booth, like
I
look
went,
at me, I'm up here
It's
with
moments.
him.
I went
It's
into
moments
this
about moments.
extensively with the Drunken Knights on their podcast. Shout out to them.
Shout out to the Drunken Knights.
Yeah, man, about this new era, but you know that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, a lot of corny stuff out there, but yeah, overall, you know,
Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Connery. Shouts to North Memphis.
North.
NORF, North.
Yeah. North.
Oh, puns on bars. Let's
Mhm.
anyway.
Hey, I see what you did there. Well done.
The one thing, the rap performance.
Yes.
The only other thing that I thought was interesting was I kind of expected Bad and Bougie to win something.
That was a big record, man.
And it was nominated one time, and Humble beat it out for Best Rap Performance, I believe. What does that mean?
But honestly, when you talk about perform, I could see Migos beating Kendrick in that.
That's what I mean.
Is the performance the video?
I don't know.
Is it
no,
the video?
Because there's a music video category too.
Okay.
Is
and Humble won
performance
that.
is performance taken into consideration? Like, I don't know, man. Is it touring? I don't know. Do they watch that? Like the reaction to the tours,
or how well they recorded it and performed it while they were on?
Something like that.
Best music video, Humble won.
Yep.
And then best rap performance, Humble won as well. Which Bodak Yellow was nominated in that one as well. Which that was a huge record as well. So
honestly, I think
they're
Kendrick,
just making up.
They just
video wise though, was Jay-Z's
Story of OJ?
Was that in there?
Yeah.
I think that probably should have got best video.
Kendrick's video
but you know
was
what?
pretty dope, though, man.
Humble
Kendrick's
was a cold video.
And for certain people, a video like Story of OJ was hard to watch.
Yeah.
So they probably only watched it once.
I thought it was dope, but then again, I have a reason. Or
Beck was nominated for best music video
again.
Once again,
he be sneaking in.
Didn't even know Beck had a project out.
Not at all.
Kanye didn't show up to make sure Beck didn't win. Shout to Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
If him and Jay was cool, do you think he would have jumped on stage?
Hey man,
and said something?
At this point, man, like
Kendrick, no, probably not.
I mess with you, Kendrick. You know, you my dude. You know, Humble, all that.
But they study 444 in colleges. Be some stuff like that.
Yo,
ain't nobody better than Jay.
Yeah.
If I ain't getting an award, Jay's supposed to be getting an award.
You know what, man? With Kanye, man, this is a very, very...
Tell me why you're mad.
I'm going to tell you why I'm mad. At this point with Ye...
his wife busting it wide open on Instagram.
Man.
Hold on.
That's something all the way different.
I ain't even... See,
I'm just saying.
But she is busting it wide open. She had
open.
the... what's the movie? I'm coming to you because I think you know the movie. What's the movie with the chick? Did you see her braids?
Who?
You didn't see the braids.
You're talking about Perfect 10, where she ripped off Bo. She
That's
said
what it
she ripped
is.
off Bo Derek, but I'm like,
that's Bo Derek.
because
That's what I'm
Bo
talking
Derek
about.
was ripping off black people.
Yeah.
And Africa. I can't
Thank
remember.
you, brother. Thank you,
I
brother.
can't remember the exact, but I saw it. But every time I see
Black people,
like when they'll say like
Bo Derek.
somebody is like, oh, so and so has in boxer braids. You mean cornrows?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? I was like, why are you trying to make I remember I saw this article about the new fashion trend, and it was wearing wheat colored Timberlands.
Oh wow, hadn't seen that before.
When have we not
worn wheat colored Timberlands? But you know
Timberlands?
what? It was when white people discover things, it's brand new.
I've never seen brand new.
Kind of like
Shout
America.
out to
Oh,
Ron
what?
I've never seen. I've never seen. I would pay the price of admission to just come into a place and see Lone wearing a pair of 6-inch wheat Timbs, and
a lumberjack.
And a lumberjack, yeah, with some.
I feel like I would walk around. You know, like when people wear big boots and they don't tie their shoes and they kick the bottoms of them,
flopping around and stuff.
Yeah, that would be me with those shoes on.
We gonna get.
Can we get him?
I'm not gonna pick my feet up.
We gonna get him a pair of Timbs.
So I think we're gonna do a GoFundMe to get Lone a pair of 6-inch wheat Timbs, and he'll wear them to coaches.
The GoFundMe goal is only $189.
Yeah. So if we get this set up,
I'm not putting this shit together.
If we get this set up, y'all, if y'all want to contribute to Lone getting a pair of 6-inch wheat Timbs to wear the coaches and a lumberjack, y'all let us know. Post in the comments or
like
whatever.
A red flannel too.
Yeah.
That's the lumberjack.
Yeah, that's a lumberjack. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the hat to match.
With the hat. Oh, okay.
Shout to Brooklyn.
Yeah. So we're gonna have Lone out here.
Brooklyn way.
We're gonna have Lone dressing like Biggie in the fall. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a bad look.
So we're gonna do we need what to outfit him, we need what, 220, 250?
I mean, you can get a lumberjack
at Walmart.
Target.
Yeah, I can go get that.
Don't put me in control of it because I'll put that money on microphones or something.
I see what you're doing.
That's right. How you gonna take your Timberland money and put it back into your business?
Yeah, this is
come on, man. That's
straight up.
That ain't hip hop.
Yeah, come on. That is.
We got to get Lone and coaches with some Timbs. We'll work on that.
I like my plain gray shirts. You know, that's kind.
We can get you a black and white and gray lumberjack too, though.
The important part is the Timbs.
Yeah.
You'll rock them though if we get them.
Just don't leave the receipt in the box.
You only got to wear them once. We can take them back. Then we can get the microphone.
Buy another microphone.
Yeah.
Straight up. What was you gonna say about Ye before we start talking about
about Loans, Tim's?
With that too, and her busting it wide open on the gram. Who wants their wife busting it wide open on the gram?
I'm not on that, man.
Well, see, the thing is,
he might still be in Montana.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Maybe you don't have reception up there.
Those are pictures she's supposed to be sending to him.
Who's got more influence, Kanye or Kim?
That's a very good question, sir.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
Kim Kardashian has like 100 million followers. And so I was like, really? But, you know, and people was like, oh, she can express herself as a woman. I'm like, that's not what I'm on.
Man.
Like, because my thing is, okay, yes, she can express herself as but trust and believe if that was my wife, I'd be expressing myself as a man when I saw it. And one of my expressions would be like, you better take them pictures off the gram.
Down.
I don't know what you think this is.
I wish I would be scrolling and seeing some shit like that.
Hey.
Really?
I don't want to be around for that, man.
I missed it. Is this old or new?
No,
it's brand new. Like see, this is the thing. Every
on
time,
Instagram? Let me look this up.
Yeah,
they on there.
Well, see, this is what happens, and this is a pattern. Every time the world talks about Beyonce,
that is true. Wow.
Kim Kardashian
she has to
be
do
like,
something to bust
I'm
it open.
relevant too.
Hey,
and here's why.
I know this is
I'm
a very
naked.
this is a very shade room conversation, but it really is something that's like
wow.
It's Long just now seeing the pictures. But that's the thing. Like as a man, I know Terry's only one of us who's put it on paper. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can imagine if I was a married man, not in my house.
Man,
you can express yourself as a woman. I want you to be strong, free, and independent. But I tell you what, we're not gonna do, and that is not put this up on the gram so you can have weirdos jerking off to pictures of you in the late night hour.
She doesn't need to do that at this point.
Look,
there's no reason for her to put a picture up like that.
She thinks she still needs to do that to remain.
Well, you know
who she is.
The thing
remain
is,
with the relevancy.
If they said, you know what, we paid Kim $10 million, I'd be like,
she don't know any better.
All right, cool.
Maybe she don't know any better.
You doing this for free?
Yeah, free 99.
I don't even see. That's where I don't get it because yeah,
she out there. Yeah, it's more though. I think it was like 2 or 3 more of them. Yeah.
She wilding out, man.
That one.
Yeah.
I mean that's.
Yeah, you might like that shit though.
You know, but at the same
I would
time,
be surprised.
That's where she got. I mean, that's all she knows. That's
Thank
all
you.
she is.
You know what?
That's
You're
all
right.
she knows.
Because she can't sing, she can't dance, she can't act.
She came to the light like that.
So
she's a regular person that got famous because she had sex with Ray J.
Hey, I've always said,
and her dad and all that stuff.
But at the same time, like this is her talent. You know what I'm saying? Being provocative on the gram for free is her talent. I guess that's
nobody's paying admission on the gram.
I guess that's the thing that bothers me more than anything is like from her level. I was like, yo, if there are people that probably pay big money for you to wild out like this, why are you doing it for free? But then of course,
you could have took a nice pictorial or something and got paid.
Knowing her though,
she's done it in the past.
She's been in Playboy.
But knowing her though, there's probably somebody that gave her a bag to do that.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
Not for Instagram. That's not.
She had on something. There had to be some gear or something that was on there. Nah. So she was just busting it open.
That's what she wanted to do.
I was trying to find an angle on it, but there was no.
I thought she might have got a bag.
What gear is she advertising right here?
Like draws.
That's a damn good looking
Yeezy
coat
season
there.
7.
Yeah.
It might be Yeezy draws.
The minimalism.
Yeah, it might be the coat.
Yeah, there's no tag on it though. Is my point.
I think it's ill how she had to go ahead and
Chris Rock liked this picture.
Blur out the nipple, even though it's like, look, you know, Ma, we've seen you naked on film.
Well, she did that because they took it down on Instagram.
That's right.
Because she obviously wants it to stay up there.
Naked.
And he blurred out his nipple and busted wide open on the gram.
I mean, because you saw, because remember when Amber Rose had that Boosie fade happening, they took hers right on down.
Yeah.
So
she did have that Boosie fade.
It was out
on that thing.
I mean, she's getting 1.6 million likes on this.
Yes,
exactly. So
that's going to get that.
Bruh. Yeah, but when you have 100 million followers, I
think it's a bag involved somewhere that we don't know about. That's just me.
I doubt
She's probably just bored.
Could be
she's
bored.
She's tired of listening to these kids.
Yeah, she had somebody else had the kids. Her sister she's pregnant now or something that start to come out.
Yeah, so gotta take a
put me in the spotlight, please.
Beyonce is out here to his point.
Beyonce's out here
flexing.
Hey, they finally have a crying Caucasian couple on the State of the Union.
Yeah, who are these people he's exploiting?
I don't know, but he's exploiting them.
It's because this whole thing is like, hey, don't talk about me. Here, I'm gonna talk to these people who are actually honorable and probably decent people. So you can not focus on me.
Their life's probably dedicated to coal.
Let me. Hey, Lone is
fossil fuels and shit.
Lone is a savage.
Lone said that. We didn't say that.
Lone is a savage. Yo, Lone is a savage.
He said he'd be out there in them coal mines. Damn, man.
Lone is a savage. I want to
with the parrot to make sure that they don't. Okay, stop.
I mean, coal ain't green. Damn it.
Fossil fuel.
Fossil
well, why are we trying to save coal? Why are we trying to save coal?
You know what? And we'll move on right after. I'll tell you exactly why we're trying to save coal.
Why is that?
I know why we're trying to save coal.
Okay, just think about. Okay, I'll put it in another context. If 95% of the employees at Blockbuster were white men, they'd find a way to get rid of DVDs and Netflix. So we can move on to the next one.
Bars. Yes, you drop bars right there.
Bang bang.
I want to jump in.
You're still crying.
I want to jump in on this one real quick, more on a serious note. But I was asleep. I didn't realize this. The Amazon joint you told me about. I don't even know if this is real, but I'm taking your word for it, so I believe you. With the joints that say they're selling T-shirts that say slavery gets the job done.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me, man.
That's crazy. I didn't really look into it a whole lot more than that.
But just the sound of that, it's crazy to me.
I will say too, Amazon, you can upload something right now on Amazon and sell it.
Yeah.
Now,
I follow you.
If somebody doesn't catch it in time, somebody can get on there and order that.
Okay.
Slavery gets shit done.
Yeah.
Slavery gets shit done.
So I wouldn't necessarily blame it directly on Amazon per se.
He's got another minority on screen.
There we go. I think that's 3 or 4 minorities.
I don't know. We might have missed a couple.
He looks like
I ignored him
he looks
for a while.
like the Asian version of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Wow.
Say he don't.
He actually does.
I don't think I can comment on that.
Why not?
Stupid.
All right, back to. Well, I don't want to say back to.
He's got glasses.
I think that's Boys in the Hood. Cuba,
yeah, that's exactly. That's
Trey.
Young Cuba. Cuba.
Yeah, I
Stupid.
think fresh out the mall.
He got that ball in his throat. Trump is saying something's about to make him cry now.
He's like, yeah, all of our
He helped me. What if he says something?
He's probably saying stuff like Oriental right now.
Oh God! What if he says
he dumb enough to do something stupid like that?
What if he says something real foul like he helped me set up my internet in my house? Like he just like these jokes write themselves, even though like I said, whoever wrote the speech he's saying right now.
Fox News will come in the next day and be like, the internet is very important, to America.
Right.
Goofy.
Yeah.
We should do a whole show where it's like bad lip reading, but it's just Trump speeches.
Yeah, but it would just be really
You know what?
racist,
That's
so
a
it'd be
damn
worse
good
than
idea,
anything
man.
he could say.
That's a damn good idea. That would be very, very fun.
Right now, this is my friend. His name is John.
I can't pronounce his last name like that. He'd probably say some shit like that.
But he's a really good Asian man.
Yeah.
Really
give it up
good.
Give it up for my Asian American over there.
My Asian American.
Not as smart as me. These are facts.
He won't say that, though.
Asian American unemployment has gone down under my leadership.
And I saved his job.
Exactly. Unlike the people at Carrier right here in Indianapolis. Oh,
Carrier.
Yeah.
That thought they were going to win.
He's got crutches.
Oh, he's Asian and got crutches.
What kind of crutches does he have?
Wait a minute. Those look like crutches
from the Civil War.
Where he get these old wooden crutches from?
Where?
They look like they made out of
Civil War.
They borrowed that from the Smithsonian.
They look like they made out of balsa wood.
Yo,
come on, man.
J-Dib said they're from the Civil
Look at those.
War.
Look at them. It looked like he got
when
those.
Have you ever
they
seen
still got the tape on
anybody walking around with some crutches,
vintage crutches
with that thick at the bottom?
They
Come
still
on,
got
man.
the
No,
tape
they
on
don't
them.
make crutches out of wood
them
anymore.
crutches was in glory.
I had crutches 25 years ago, and they were a lot more advanced than that. Come on, that is for
aluminum.
effect. He's being used, and I don't like that.
He's not
Hey,
getting
who
a check.
set this dude up with these crutches, man?
I'm telling you, they stole it from the Smithsonian. They're going to take them back. They might be from the Civil War.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, yo, Trump is a clown enough to be like, yeah, so we want him to have some real raggedy ass wood crutches when he holds them up on cue after I say this.
I'm telling you,
on some
if you're
corny
listening
shit.
on SoundCloud or iTunes, you have to watch this on YouTube
Hey,
so
these
you can
glory-
see
hey,
exactly what we're talking
Yo,
about.
these glory crutches, man. Straight up, dog. Maybe that's the name of this segment.
But
Glory Crutches.
But low key, well, high key because we could see it. Oh my!
I see you over there.
And biscuits. Okay.
All right,
y'all stop. Y'all stop.
I see you over there.
No, it still had the plastic wrap on the bottom.
Hey,
Yeah.
So, but
He
anyways,
just copped those. Those are new Glory crutches because he just copped them. They still got the wrap on them.
man,
they didn't even have a rubber foot on them.
They were just exactly. I was like,
They didn't
No.
have.
You see how thick it was on the bottom? Then was like some pirate crutches or something, like old pirate crutches.
Yo,
It's from a prop.
He got,
from Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm with Lone though.
Blackbeard's crutches.
I'm with Lone though. We can go with Civil War crutches, Glory crutches, or Smithsonian crutches.
Civil War and Glory are the
It's
same.
about the same thing. I stand corrected. Yeah, I stand corrected. How about the 54th crutches?
oh man. Well,
That means he took
a
them
great
from a black
movie.
man, which
Yeah.
means that's something that Trump would do.
Yeah,
Exactly. So he took the crutches from somebody that was in the 54.
hey man, it's a circle of life, right?
It's a circle of life.
because what's his name? Feet in there was bad.
Oh yeah, because they didn't have the
Hey,
shoes.
Denzel
Yeah.
feet was bad
His feet
in
was
Glory.
bad. He
He
needed
said
those
He could have
Feet.
used those crutches.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick was like, "Get my guy some shoes."
Yeah. Shoes, boy. Shoes. Great movie.
Hey,
Here's a pair. There's a pair. Here's a pair. There's a pair.
But you know what's crazy?
Shoes, boy. Here's a pair. There's a pair.
tear it up.
I don't know if y'all remember this, but Glory and Driving Miss Daisy were out in the same Oscar season. This is how bad black people got it after the Civil War.
Hey.
Like, because
Talk to me now.
remember Morgan Freeman could speak in complete sentences very clearly and stood upright. And this is the 1800s. By the time
They played him.
by
They
the
played
time it was Driving Miss Daisy, he was all hunched over and yes, like it was like he was a slave in that movie. Like
Man.
that's how like Jim Crow was whooping black America's ass.
Yeah, his name was Hulk. What type of the hell type of name is that?
Man,
Yeah, we gonna make you be a character named Hulk, and I want you to walk over.
I think
bent
that
over,
might have
walk
been
bent
one of the last appearances from Florida Evans too. She was in that movie.
No, you know what she was in? She was in Rosewood.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah, that was that real ill scene.
And Florida Evans is not her name, by the way. That's
Oh.
only in Good Times.
Oh,
Just so
What's her
you know.
name?
Esther Roll. Don't do
Okay,
that.
I
Don't
thought
do that.
I thought
Don't
you
do
was just
that.
trying to front on Terry.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Shout out to
you
Esther
know I
Roll.
call everybody by their name in
You
their
do.
show.
You do. Shout out to
It ain't
Esther
even
Roll,
that
though.
I don't be knowing their name. I just called Keisha Knight,
Pull-
Rudy,
you did. Pullman. Ain't that her last name?
Pulliam, something like
Pulliam.
that.
Pulliam.
Her name is Rudy, bro.
Yo, she's gonna always be Rudy.
Rudy.
I'm gonna start saying that every time I see people now. Here's a pair, there's a pair. Here's a pair, there's a pair. Shoes, boy. Here's a pair, there's a pair.
You tearing up your check?
Yeah, man, tear it up. Great movie. That's like my favorite movie,
Yeah,
man.
that is, you know.
New music. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
Oh yeah, and Amazon is foul, but hey, that's what
Yeah,
happens with
Amazon
Amazon.
out here,
But
man.
yeah, that's neither
There's
here nor
that
there.
corporate money.
Yeah, so
What else we
let's
got?
see. So Gambino did sign with RCA. He's gonna do another record. I think it's his last album. Final project. So that'll be dope. I'd be curious to hear what direction he goes because he's so talented.
He does
go
every
anywhere.
damn thing. He can
Yeah.
do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on Atlanta to hit, man. I can't
I'm waiting
wait
on
for
that Atlanta, and I'm waiting on that the Star Wars movie.
I saw trailers for Atlanta. Y'all know my Netflix, Hulu, whatever game is low. But I saw trailers for it, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing out
that's
on what
on
y'all have been talking
regular
about.
TV though.
I don't got regular TV, though. So they Comcast are
You know, there's ways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
well,
There's so
we'll-
many ways.
we'll talk about
This is 2018.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I don't
you
have
got
all
an
that.
internet connection?
Yes, sir.
Get
Okay,
out
you
here
should
then.
be able to see it.
We'll holler at your boy after we get done.
You got
All
a
right.
whole degree.
My
You
degree,
gotta understand,
my
this is-
degree wasn't in pirating, sir.
It has nothing to do with
If
that.
you were in college, you should have learned enough
Yeah.
to understand how these things work.
yeah.
Nah, man, my TV game has been low. I got to
Technology game is a little low.
Hey, man, my TV game
Did
is
you
low.
reset your TCP settings?
TCIP, TPI,
TP
CIP?
TCP,
Yeah.
I-
IP, yeah.
TP
with a slash in there.
TPC Sawgrass. That's a golf tournament.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You still live.
Has nothing to do with technology.
Still TPC.
New albums that dropped. There's three that I want to talk about
All right.
real briefly. Chris Dave and the Drumheads dropped their new album.
Oh, it's out?
It's
Yeah, you
out.
told me about
Word.
that. Yeah,
It's out. It's
yeah.
How does it sound?
I haven't heard it yet, but it's out.
Cool.
Stroy Elliott is on a part of that, or no?
Chris Dave is the drummer.
Okay, I
I
don't know why. I
believe.
don't know why I was thinking Stroy Elliott had something to do with that. Maybe
But
not.
no, Bilal's on it. Anderson .Paak, Sir,
Okay.
Kendra Foster, Fonte, Elzai, Stokely Williams,
Word.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a nice lineup.
Mint condition.
Eric Roberson,
yeah.
Anna
Stokely's
Wise.
gonna be here on that tour that Tony's coming to.
I will fool
You
with
mean
Stokely.
Tony and Tony?
Yeah, Tony and Tony. Yeah,
Tony and their cousin.
yeah.
Yeah. Evidence dropped Whether or Not.
You played a jam off that before we went on, right? Wasn't that Evidence?
No, Evidence. No, that was not.
Oh, sorry.
But Evidence's project is good.
I ain't peeped it yet.
Yeah. What else?
Cover
Cy
artist, don't
Ari the Kid. Cy Ari the Kid. I don't know who that is necessarily, but I heard his new album and I shared it on the site, and it's dope.
Is that the kid you were telling me from Atlanta?
Yeah, it's Jid and Earth Gang. Cy the Prince are on his album.
Word.
Oh, don't forget
word.
that Culture 2 came out for those looking for that. 24
yeah.
songs deep.
I actually listened to it.
A lot of songs.
Whole lot of songs.
I got
Whole lot of filler.
10 records in. 10 records in. It sounded like the same record. 10 records in. So it was pretty redundant, but they are.
Ghostface dropped a new project too.
Well, it
Really?
wasn't new. It was a re-release
Yeah.
with Apollo Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Real quickly, a couple other things.
I didn't know that.
The Ghostface.
I did not. Yeah, I was sleeping.
We just released the interview with Free the Robots.
Yes.
So that's out now. Free the Robots, New Old Heads Backstage. Yeah, and Patreon. So talk about our Patreon real quick.
Patreon. You can find it on our bringingdowntheband.com. There's a link to it.
The
Actually,
easiest
it's
way
newoldheads.com. Is
Just
that
go to
easier?
patreon.com/newoldheads.
And just search it.
Yeah, and then you can sign. No. You
Oh,
just-
/ do all this. I'm sorry.
It's on the intro, Mike.
Oh, it is on the intro. Shout out to Jay
Micah?
Moore on the intro. The Golden Voice did say that. Those are the instructions. I stand corrected.
Patreon.com/newoldheads. If you like the podcast, sign up. Give us $1 a month. It's only $1.
It's only $1. You won't miss
I
that.
need
$3 a month.
$1
You can join our.
need.
You can join our community as well. So
I need $1.
Shouts to Aloe Black.
$1 is all I need.
What? On them vocals.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I
You
like
got
that.
anything popping you want to tell the people?
Let's see. Of course, Take That Tuesday, every Tuesday with me and DJ Metronome. Thursday night at Tiki Bob's with Lemmy Vice, Action Jackson, and DJ Gabby Love. This Friday, we will be at the Hi-Fi for the anniversary party for Back to the Future. Old Soul Entertainment presents Metronome, Nico Flores. Let's see, Top Speed. There's a whole bunch. There's like 8 DJs.
Stylistic.
Yeah.
Architect.
Yeah, everybody's on that. So you
DJ
definitely.
Reekin.
Oh yeah. So shout out to my man DJ Reekin. He just got on the radio here. So he's gonna. We're all gonna be in the building. It's gonna be a real nice time. Only $5.
Word.
And let's see, Saturday night, of course, I'm gonna be at the Casbah with the youngsters, kicking it, doing my thing with DJ Obi-Wan. So it is what it is. You know what to do.
Going in
sir.
through the back way like an Italian gangster.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like how he does that.
Exactly.
Video
Real.
game
Whenever I got my people I want to get in, we do a Goodfellas style. We don't.
Yeah. I
we
like
don't.
that.
We don't come through the front door. We
Straight
always make
up.
sure we come through the kitchen
Did I
and do it real gangster.
did I miss anything else, fellas?
Nah, I'm off this weekend.
Word. All right, I guess that's going to wrap it up for episode 66. Longevity, DJ J Diff, Jay Moore, I am Major 7. Again, make sure you visit us on all of our outlets, newoldheads.com, our Patreon site, Instagram. We are everywhere. We appreciate all the support. Subscribe. Holler at us on YouTube as well. We need to get our subscribers up, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Holler.
Yes, indeed.
In your mouth.
bitches.
Y'all look for bitches and blunts. We look for weed and money.